Every single day, thousands of people over 60 wake up feeling perfectly fine, go about their normal routines, and have absolutely no idea that a silent killer is already attacking their bodies. Right now, as you're watching this video, your body might already be sending you urgent warning signals that you're completely missing. These are not the obvious signs like chest pain or severe headaches that send you rushing to the emergency room. These are the silent symptoms in seniors that medical professionals call whispers before the storm. Here's what's truly terrifying. Medical research shows that 85% of serious health conditions in people over 60 begin with symptoms so subtle that they are dismissed as normal aging. That backache you've been ignoring, that slight change in your sleep pattern, that minor shift in your appetite. These could be your body's desperate attempt to warn you about hidden health issues over 60 that are silently progressing right now. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 7 specific places in your body where diseases hide in complete silence, often for months or even years, before they become life-threatening emergencies. More importantly, I'll show you exactly what to look for, and how to catch these silent diseases in older adults before they steal your independence, your health, and potentially your life. The human body is an incredible communication system, constantly sending signals about its internal state. But here's the problem that most people don't understand. As we age, our bodies don't always scream when something's wrong. Instead, they whisper. And if you don't know how to listen to these whispers, you might miss the early warning signs that could save your life. What I'm about to share with you challenges everything you've been told about aging and health. You've probably been conditioned to believe that aches, pains, fatigue, and various discomforts are just part of getting older. This dangerous misconception has led millions of seniors to ignore body warning signs aging that are actually red flags for serious underlying conditions. The truth is, your body never lies. Every sensation, every subtle change, every seemingly minor symptom is actually valuable information about your internal health status. The key is knowing how to decode these messages before they become medical emergencies. Today, you're going to discover the 7 most common hiding places where diseases silently establish themselves in the bodies of people over 60. I'll reveal the specific signs that most people dismiss as normal aging, explain why these symptoms are actually urgent warnings, and give you practical steps to take action before it's too late. This isn't just about preventing disease. It's about maintaining your independence, your quality of life, and your ability to enjoy your golden years to the fullest. By the end of this video, you'll have a completely new understanding of what your body is trying to tell you, and you'll never ignore these warning signs again. The silent epidemic. Why diseases hide in plain sight. Before we dive into the 7 hiding places, you need to understand why diseases become silent killers in the first place. Medical researchers have identified a phenomenon called symptom masking that becomes more common as we age. This happens because our nervous system, which is responsible for sending pain and discomfort signals to our brain, gradually becomes less sensitive over time. Think of it like an old fire alarm with a dying battery. It might still detect smoke, but the warning sound becomes fainter and fainter until you can barely hear it. Your body's alarm system works the same way. The signals are still there, but they're not as loud or obvious as they once were. Additionally, many seniors take medications for various conditions, and these medications can actually mask symptoms of developing diseases. Pain relievers, for example, don't just reduce the pain you're aware of. They can also suppress the subtle discomfort that might be warning you about something more serious. Here's a shocking statistic that most doctors won't tell you. Studies conducted by the American Medical Association found that the average senior experiences symptoms of a serious condition for 14 months before seeking medical attention. 14 months. That's more than a year of missed opportunities for early intervention and treatment. Hiding place. Number 1. Your digestive system. Your digestive system is perhaps the most deceptive when it comes to silent diseases. Most people think digestive issues are just about stomach upset or occasional heartburn, but your gut is actually your body's first line of defense, and one of its most important communication centers. Here's what you need to watch for: subtle changes in your bowel habits that persist for more than 2 weeks. This doesn't mean dramatic symptoms like severe diarrhea or constipation. I'm talking about slight changes in frequency, consistency, or color that you might dismiss as dietary variations or stress-related. Colon cancer, one of the most preventable yet deadly diseases in seniors, often begins with symptoms so mild that they're attributed to getting older or eating something that didn't agree with me. The early warning signs include occasional abdominal discomfort that comes and goes, slight changes in stool appearance, and a feeling of incomplete evacuation that you might not even consciously notice. But here's where it gets really dangerous: inflammatory bowel conditions, which can lead to serious complications if left untreated, often start with what feels like minor indigestion or a slight increase in gas production. You might find yourself reaching for antacids more often, or noticing that certain foods that never bothered you before now cause mild discomfort. The hidden danger is that these symptoms are so common and seemingly insignificant that most people never mention them to their doctors. They self-medicate with over-the-counter remedies and assume the problem will resolve itself. Meanwhile, the underlying condition continues to progress silently. Your digestive system is also where nutritional deficiencies first manifest, often years before they become obvious. Vitamin B12 deficiency, for example, can cause subtle cognitive changes, slight fatigue, and minor balance issues long before it progresses to the severe symptoms that finally send people to the doctor. If you're over 60 and you've noticed any persistent changes in your digestive patterns, even if they seem minor, this is your body's way of asking for attention. Don't wait for dramatic symptoms to appear. Hiding place number 2. Your cardiovascular system. Heart disease remains the #1 killer of seniors. But here's what most people don't realize. The heart rarely gives you just one warning before a major event. Instead, it sends subtle signals that are easy to dismiss or attribute to other causes. The most dangerous misconception is that heart problems always announce themselves with dramatic chest pain. In reality, especially for people over 60, heart disease often presents with what medical professionals call atypical symptoms. Pay attention to these seemingly unrelated signs: unexplained fatigue that doesn't improve with rest, shortness of breath during activities that used to be easy for you, or a persistent feeling of heaviness in your chest that you might describe as heartburn or indigestion. Here's a particularly insidious warning sign that most people completely ignore: changes in your exercise tolerance or daily activity level. If you notice that climbing stairs, walking to the mailbox, or doing household chores leaves you more winded than usual, your heart might be struggling to pump blood efficiently. Sleep disturbances can also be an early warning sign of cardiovascular problems. If you find yourself waking up feeling unrested, experiencing more frequent nighttime urination, or having difficulty sleeping flat without extra pillows, these could be signs that your heart isn't working as effectively as it should. High blood pressure, often called the silent killer, is particularly dangerous because it literally has no symptoms in most people. Your blood pressure could be dangerously elevated right now, putting strain on your heart, kidneys, and blood vessels, and you would feel completely normal. The American Heart Association's latest research shows that people over 60 who ignore these subtle cardiovascular warning signs are 3 times more likely to experience a major cardiac event within 2 years compared to those who seek medical evaluation for seemingly minor symptoms. Hiding. Place number 3. Your bones and joints. Osteoporosis is often called the silent disease because bone loss occurs gradually over many years without any symptoms. Most people don't realize they have osteoporosis until they experience their first fracture, which often happens during a minor fall or even during routine activities like lifting groceries or getting out of bed. But your bones and joints send warning signals long before fractures occur. The key is recognizing these signals for what they are, rather than dismissing them as normal aging. Height loss is one of the most overlooked early warning signs of bone disease. If you've lost more than 1.5 inches of height since your younger adult years, this could indicate compression fractures in your spine that occurred without you even realizing it. Joint stiffness that's worse in the morning and improves throughout the day might seem like a normal part of aging, but it can actually be an early sign of inflammatory arthritis conditions that can cause permanent joint damage if left untreated. Pay attention to changes in your posture or the way you walk. If family members have commented that you're walking differently, or if you find yourself holding onto railings or furniture more often for balance, these changes might indicate musculoskeletal problems that need attention. Muscle weakness that develops gradually is another warning sign that's often ignored. If you notice that you're having more difficulty opening jars, getting up from low chairs, or lifting objects that used to be manageable, this could indicate muscle loss that's accelerating faster than normal aging would account for. The dangerous truth about bone and joint problems is that once significant damage occurs, it's often irreversible. The time to take action is when symptoms are still subtle and manageable. Hiding place number 4. Your kidneys. Your kidneys are among the most silent organs in your body when it comes to disease progression. Chronic kidney disease can advance to dangerous stages without causing any obvious symptoms, which is why it's often called a silent killer. Here's what makes kidney disease so dangerous. Your kidneys have tremendous reserve capacity. They can lose up to 90% of their function before you experience obvious symptoms. By the time you notice signs like swelling in your legs, persistent fatigue, or changes in urination, significant and potentially irreversible damage has already occurred. The early warning signs of kidney problems are so subtle that they're often attributed to other causes. Slight changes in urine color, frequency, or appearance are usually dismissed as temporary issues related to hydration, diet, or medications. Persistent mild fatigue that doesn't improve with rest could be an early sign that your kidneys aren't effectively filtering waste products from your blood. This leads to a gradual buildup of toxins that can affect your energy levels, mental clarity, and overall sense of well-being. High blood pressure and kidney disease often occur together in a dangerous cycle. High blood pressure can damage your kidneys, and kidney disease can worsen high blood pressure. Many seniors have both conditions developing simultaneously without realizing it. If you have diabetes, you're at particularly high risk for kidney disease, but the early stages are still silent. Diabetic kidney disease often progresses for years before becoming apparent, which is why regular monitoring is so crucial for diabetics over 60. Sleep disturbances, mild nausea that comes and goes, or a metallic taste in your mouth that you might attribute to medications or dental issues, can actually be early signs of kidney function decline. Hiding place number 5. Your vision and hearing. Age-related vision and hearing changes are often dismissed as inevitable parts of aging, but many serious conditions that can lead to permanent impairment start with subtle symptoms that seem insignificant. Glaucoma, one of the leading causes of blindness in seniors, is called the silent thief of sight, because it typically causes no pain or obvious symptoms until significant vision loss has already occurred. The peripheral vision loss that characterizes glaucoma happens so gradually that your brain compensates for it, making it nearly impossible to notice until it's advanced. Here's a simple test you can do right now. Cover one eye and look straight ahead, then pay attention to what you can see in your peripheral vision. Now do the same with the other eye. If you notice any differences between your eyes, or if your peripheral vision seems limited compared to what you remember, this warrants immediate professional evaluation. Macular degeneration, another leading cause of vision loss in seniors, often begins with subtle changes in central vision that people attribute to needing new glasses or just getting older. You might notice that straight lines appear slightly wavy, or that you need more light to read comfortably. Hearing loss typically occurs so gradually that people adapt to it without realizing how much their hearing has changed. The dangerous aspect of untreated hearing loss is that it's been linked to cognitive decline, social isolation, and increased risk of falls and accidents. If you find yourself asking people to repeat themselves more often, turning up the television volume, or having difficulty following conversations in noisy environments, these are early warning signs that shouldn't be ignored. The connection between sensory impairment and overall health is stronger than most people realize. Vision and hearing problems can lead to decreased physical activity, social isolation, and increased risk of depression, all of which can accelerate other health problems. Take a moment right now and think about your own vision and hearing. Have you noticed any subtle changes that you've been attributing to normal aging? If so, please make a note to discuss these with your healthcare provider. Hiding place number 6, your skin. Your skin is your body's largest organ, and often the first place where internal health problems become visible. Unfortunately, many people over 60 dismiss skin changes as cosmetic issues rather than recognizing them as potential warning signs of serious health conditions. Skin cancer is the most common form of cancer in seniors, but early skin cancers often look like minor blemishes, age spots, or small rough patches that people assume are harmless signs of aging. The key is knowing what changes to watch for and taking them seriously. Any new growth, changing mole, or persistent sore that doesn't heal within a few weeks should be evaluated by a healthcare professional. Skin cancers in their early stages are highly treatable, but advanced skin cancer can be deadly. But skin changes can also indicate problems with internal organs. Yellowing of the skin might indicate liver problems. Persistent itching without an obvious cause could signal kidney disease, liver problems, or blood disorders. Dark patches of skin, particularly around the neck or armpits, can be an early sign of insulin resistance or diabetes. Changes in skin texture, such as unusual dryness, thickness, or tightness, might indicate autoimmune conditions or circulatory problems. Slow-healing cuts or bruises that appear without obvious cause could signal blood clotting disorders or immune system problems. Your skin also reflects your nutritional status. Persistent dryness, unusual pallor, or changes in skin tone might indicate nutritional deficiencies that could be affecting other aspects of your health. Don't forget about your feet, which are often neglected but can provide important health information. Changes in toenail appearance, persistent foot pain, or slow-healing minor injuries on your feet could indicate circulatory problems or diabetes complications. I want you to make a mental note right now to examine your skin more carefully. Look for any changes you might have been ignoring, and remember that when it comes to skin changes, it's always better to have something checked and found to be harmless than to ignore something that could be serious. Hiding place number 7, your brain and nervous system. Perhaps the most frightening aspect of neurological diseases is how silently they can begin. Conditions like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and other forms of dementia often start with symptoms so subtle that they are dismissed as normal aging or stress-related issues. The early signs of cognitive decline are not the dramatic memory problems that people typically associate with dementia. Instead, they're subtle changes in thinking patterns, decision-making abilities, or information processing speed that develop so gradually that they're easy to rationalize away. You might notice that it takes you longer to find the right word during conversations, or that you occasionally lose your train of thought mid-sentence. These could be early signs of cognitive changes that warrant attention, especially if they represent a change from your previous baseline. Changes in handwriting, such as letters becoming smaller or more cramped, can be an early sign of Parkinson's disease that appears years before the more obvious movement symptoms develop. Similarly, subtle changes in your sense of smell, sleep patterns, or even constipation can be early indicators of Parkinson's disease. Depression and anxiety in seniors are often misdiagnosed as dementia or dismissed as normal responses to aging. However, untreated depression can actually accelerate cognitive decline and increase the risk of developing dementia. Sleep disturbances, particularly changes in REM sleep patterns, can be early indicators of neurological problems. If you're experiencing vivid dreams where you act out the dream physically, or if your sleep patterns have changed significantly, these could be warning signs that deserve medical attention. Balance problems, increased clumsiness, or minor coordination issues that you might attribute to normal aging could actually be early signs of neurological conditions that can be managed more effectively with early intervention. The key message here is that subtle changes in thinking, memory, coordination, or behavior are not necessarily normal parts of aging. If you or your family members notice changes in your cognitive function or neurological symptoms, even if they seem minor, It's important to have them evaluated. Now, I want to ask you a direct question, and I'd love for you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you noticed any of these subtle warning signs in yourself or a loved one? What symptoms have you been dismissing as normal aging that might actually warrant medical attention? Taking action. What to do when you recognize these warning signs? Recognizing these warning signs is only the first step. The next crucial step is taking appropriate action. And this is where many people make critical mistakes that can have serious consequences. The most dangerous mistake is the wait-and-see approach. When you notice subtle symptoms, especially multiple symptoms from different areas of your body, waiting to see if they resolve on their own can allow treatable conditions to progress to more serious stages. Here's your action plan. Start keeping a symptom diary. Write down any changes you notice, no matter how minor they seem. Include the date, time of day, what you were doing when you noticed the symptom, and any factors that might have triggered it. This information will be invaluable to your healthcare provider. Don't rely on Dr. Google for self-diagnosis. While it's natural to want to research your symptoms, online health information can be misleading and often focuses on worst-case scenarios. Use the internet to educate yourself about general health topics, but leave the diagnosis to qualified healthcare professionals. When you do see your healthcare provider, be specific about your symptoms. Instead of saying, "I've been feeling tired," say, "I've noticed that I feel more fatigued than usual in the afternoons, and this has been happening for about 3 weeks." Specific information helps your doctor make better assessments. Don't minimize your symptoms or apologize for bothering your doctor with seemingly minor issues. Healthcare providers would much rather evaluate symptoms that turn out to be harmless than miss early warning signs of serious conditions. If your primary care provider dismisses your concerns or suggests that your symptoms are just normal aging, don't hesitate to seek a second opinion. You know your body better than anyone else, and persistent changes deserve proper evaluation. Remember that early detection and intervention can make the difference between a manageable health condition and a life-threatening disease. The treatments available for most conditions are most effective when started early, before significant damage has occurred. Before I continue, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. We regularly share health information specifically designed for people over 60, and I want to make sure you don't miss any content that could be important for your health and well-being. The connection between multiple systems. One of the most important concepts to understand is that your body systems don't operate in isolation. Problems in one area often affect other areas, and recognizing these connections can help you identify patterns that might not be obvious when looking at individual symptoms. For example, cardiovascular problems can affect kidney function, which can impact bone health, which can influence your balance and increase your risk of falls. Sleep problems can affect your immune system, cognitive function, and cardiovascular health. This interconnectedness means that addressing health problems early, before they have a chance to affect multiple systems, is crucial for maintaining your overall health and independence as you age. It also means that if you're experiencing symptoms in multiple areas, for instance subtle digestive changes, along with mild fatigue and occasional balance issues, this combination might be more significant than any individual symptom would be on its own. The role of regular health screenings. While being aware of subtle symptoms is crucial, it's equally important to stay current with recommended health screenings. Many of the conditions we've discussed today can be detected through routine tests before symptoms appear. Blood pressure monitoring, cholesterol testing, diabetes screening, bone density scans, colonoscopies, mammograms, and eye exams are all designed to catch problems in their early stages when they're most treatable. The key is not just having these tests done, but understanding what the results mean and following up on any abnormalities, even if they're minor. Small changes in test results over time can reveal developing problems before they become serious. Creating your personal health monitoring system. Based on what we've discussed today, I want to give you a practical framework for monitoring your own health between doctor visits. This isn't about becoming obsessed with every minor body sensation, but rather about becoming more aware of patterns and changes that might be significant. First, establish your baseline. Pay attention to how you normally feel, your typical energy levels, sleep patterns, and physical capabilities. This baseline will help you recognize when changes occur. Second, pay attention to persistence. Occasional symptoms are usually not concerning, but symptoms that persist for more than 2 weeks or occur repeatedly should be noted and potentially evaluated. Third, look for patterns. Symptoms that occur at specific times of day, in relation to certain activities, or in combination with other symptoms might be more significant than isolated occurrences. Fourth, trust your instincts. If something feels different or wrong, even if you can't articulate exactly what it is, this intuition is worth paying attention to. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What city or country are you watching from? It's always interesting to know where our viewers are located around the world, and it helps us understand how to make our content most relevant to your needs. The psychological aspect of health monitoring. It's important to address the psychological aspects of health awareness. Some people worry that paying attention to their bodies will make them hypochondriacs or cause unnecessary anxiety. Others prefer to ignore potential problems because they're afraid of what they might find. The goal is to find a balanced approach that allows you to be appropriately aware of your health without becoming anxious or obsessed. Remember that most subtle symptoms have benign explanations, and even when they don't, early detection usually leads to better outcomes. If you find that health concerns are causing you significant anxiety, discuss this with your healthcare provider. Anxiety about health can actually impact your physical well-being, so it's important to address these concerns directly. The importance of advocacy. As you age, becoming an active advocate for your own health becomes increasingly important. This means being prepared for medical appointments, asking questions when you don't understand something, and insisting on appropriate care when you have concerns. Keep a list of all your medications, including over-the-counter supplements, and bring this to every medical appointment. Keep track of your medical history, including surgeries, hospitalizations, and significant illnesses. This information can be crucial for healthcare providers who are evaluating new symptoms. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If your doctor recommends a test or treatment, ask why it's necessary, what it involves, and what the results might mean. Understanding your own healthcare helps you make better decisions and follow treatment plans more effectively. Living well while staying alert. The goal of health awareness isn't to live in fear or to focus constantly on potential problems. Instead, it's about maintaining your health and independence so you can continue to enjoy life to the fullest. Regular exercise, appropriate for your fitness level and any health conditions you have, remains one of the most powerful tools for maintaining health as you age. Exercise benefits every system we've discussed today: cardiovascular, musculoskeletal, neurological, and even digestive health. Maintaining social connections and staying mentally active are also crucial for overall health. Isolation and mental stagnation can accelerate many age-related health problems. Proper nutrition becomes increasingly important as you age, not just for maintaining energy and strength, but for supporting immune function, bone health, and cognitive function. The 7 hiding places we've discussed today, your digestive system, cardiovascular system, bones and joints, kidneys, vision and hearing, skin, and brain and nervous system, are where the most common and serious health problems in seniors first establish themselves. The key message I want you to take away from this video is that subtle changes in your health are not necessarily normal parts of aging, and they deserve your attention and potentially medical evaluation. Your body is constantly communicating with you about its internal state. The challenge is learning to listen to these communications and respond appropriately. The warning signs are there. You just need to know how to recognize them. Remember that early detection and intervention can make the difference between a minor health issue and a major medical crisis. The treatments available for most conditions are most effective when started early, before significant damage has occurred. Don't wait for obvious symptoms to appear before taking action. By then, you may have missed the window of opportunity for the most effective interventions. I want to emphasize that this information is not meant to replace professional medical advice. If you're experiencing any of the symptoms we've discussed, or if you have concerns about your health, please consult with qualified healthcare professionals. Your health is your most valuable asset, and protecting it requires active participation on your part. You can't rely entirely on annual checkups or routine screenings to catch every problem. You need to be an active participant in monitoring your own health. Take a moment right now to think about your own health. Are there subtle changes you've been ignoring or dismissing? Are there symptoms you've been meaning to mention to your doctor but haven't gotten around to it? Make a commitment to yourself to take these concerns seriously. If this video has opened your eyes to warning signs you might have been missing, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted when we publish new content. We regularly share health information specifically designed for people over 60, and our goal is to help you maintain your health, independence, and quality of life as you age. Please take a moment to like this video if you found it helpful, and share it with friends or family members who might benefit from this information. Many people over 60 are unaware of these subtle warning signs, and sharing this knowledge could literally save lives. Most importantly, don't let fear prevent you from taking action. While the information we've discussed today might seem overwhelming, remember that knowledge is power. By understanding what to watch for and taking appropriate action when necessary, you're taking control of your health in a way that can dramatically improve your outcomes. Your golden years should be exactly that. Golden. They should be a time of health, happiness, and continued growth and enjoyment. By paying attention to your body's subtle warning signs and taking appropriate action when necessary, you're investing in your ability to enjoy these years to the fullest. Thank you for watching, and remember, your body is always talking to you. The question is, are you listening?